And so, the summer of anime 2017 has officially begun today. Kakegurui Episode 1 is out. Now, FYI, this is the series I told you all when I did What I Will Watch that I was pretty hyped up for. It was the one about the gambling and all that. The series has finally come out, and the biggest thing about this, so that everybody needs to understand, is that Netflix picked this series up. So, what that means is we're in a very similar situation as what happened with Little Witch Academia last season. For instance, you don't really have an official time for when the episode comes out unless you have a really dedicated group, fan subgroup, diving in and really trying to translate it. So, overall, when it comes to this series, it's probably going to have a scattered release. It might come out like on a Saturday every week. It could come out on a Saturday and then, I guess Sunday next week, maybe a Monday. It really just depends on who picks this up and who really officially starts translating it. Because, as you know, the way Netflix works is they don't put the series up officially until it's completely done airing. For instance, Little Witch Academia is finally starting to be put up on Netflix now that it's officially finished airing. So, overall, it kind of sucks that once again, Netflix's policies and the way they do things is kind of bad in terms of us anime watchers that love to watch episode by episode. But yeah, so if you're wondering where it's at and all that, it's not officially out anywhere. You're gonna probably have to go your own way or methods of finding it. But anyways, though, Kakegurui Episode 1, I've been looking forward to watching. Honestly, I did not expect the first episode to come out today. I really did not at all, because I was like, okay, so it's supposed to come out today, but since there's no real group picking it up at the moment for what I'm aware of, I was expecting maybe a Monday release or something, maybe even a Tuesday release, but here we go. It's out on a Saturday the day it aired. Thankfully, someone really dived in and wanted this translated, so I just want to say, if I had a hat on, I would tip my hat to the person that translated this episode before we could watch it today. But anyways, with that out of the way, though, the first episode was everything I wanted. I remember glancing over the first chapter of the manga a while back, and I remember reading it and liking what I saw, and looking at the chapter again and then comparing it to the first episode, overall, it seemed like they captured the magic that was in the manga's first chapter, and also everything that was in the first chapter was clearly adapted with the first episode. So, it seems like in terms of adaptation, Studio Mappa is doing a damn good job with that, so I'm very happy. Studio Mappa has always proved themselves to be a very good studio when it comes to making anime, so honestly, I didn't expect to get disappointed, so I knew it was going to be probably a good watch. Now, in terms of art and animation, oh my god, I mean, the art and animation, at first glance, when the series first starts, it seems like it's more of a slice-of-life-ish, high school setting type of style, but then when it starts getting into the main part of the series, the gambling, the entire art style just shifts. It has a darker atmosphere around it, and you're like, holy crap, the way some of the characters look, the way their expressions are, their exaggerated expressions, it really added for something very interesting and entertaining to watch. And so one of the big things I want to point out when it comes to this series, and what I remember, when it comes to the facial expressions, that actually does happen in the manga, and it seems like Studio Mappa has captured the faces the characters make. Now, what is it about? Many are probably wondering, okay, so you said it's gambling, but what exactly is it about, Chibi? So, basically, it's set in like a high school that allows gambling. Now, the gambling that goes on is you could just do regular gambling. Let's take an example of the main game from the first episode. You have it to where you play rock, paper, scissors, but the rock, paper, scissors, rock, paper, scissors are wrote on cards, and then they're put in a box, and then they draw 3 cards out, which could have maybe 2 rocks and then 1 paper, or they could all be rocks, or they can be rock, paper, and scissors. Basically, you just, do a random. You pick out random cards that people around the classroom drew on, and so you then put one card after each other. For instance, like, I do scissors, the person also does scissors, it's a draw. But, it really depends on what was drawn on the cards and what you get. So it's all about luck and gambling. And that was the main game in usage in this episode, and they were basically betting a lot of money. There was a lot of money on the table. Now, as the money starts draining down, obviously something else is going to happen. Gambling, as you know, when it comes to real life, gambling can ruin lives. It can straight up just ruin you. And in this case, gambling shows in this series that there's more than just money that can be offered. For instance, your overall sense of life for what you are. Like, the main male character, as you can see in this episode, I don't know his exact name. It'll take me a while to pick up on all the names, so please forgive me on that. But the main male character, though, at the beginning of the episode, it shows he's in a gambling spree. Like, he's gambling and all that with one of our main female characters, and he kind of loses. In turn, he becomes like a house pet. He becomes a slave to the main female character, and so he no longer has rights. He no longer has a social standing. He has to listen to her orders because he lost completely. He couldn't pay his debt, and so now he's basically like her dog. And so that's kind of what the series is trying to show is that when you run out of money sometimes, like let's say someone bet 10 million and when you carried on and you didn't have 10 million, you only had 2 million, you would have to pay that 8 million regardless, and you would have to give something up of probably equal value whoever, views it. For instance, like, oh, they think that's like an extra 8 million. So, for instance, he lost, and obviously he became like a slave to the main girl. So, what the series is about is basically characters showcasing how greedy they can get, but also how far they'll go when they get into a gambling spree. So, it's going to be that type of series. It's going to have a lot of psychological elements as well from what I know of, and it's definitely going to be a lot of fan service and ecchi too. Now, as I've said many times in the past when it comes to fan service, personally, I have no problem with fan service in general. It just comes down to the way it's used. For instance, if the fan service is not the, I guess, getting us away from the plot, like getting us away from what the main important parts of the series is about, then I'm fine with it. I mean, I'm fine with some fan service here and there, overall character designs for fan service, I'm fine with that. I, however, disagree when episodes are entirely focused on just fan service and nothing else. There's no substance. There's nothing there you're like, oh crap, this is amazing. It's just there for fan service. So, I hope the series doesn't kind of go into that, but I do know it's going to have some fan service, but I feel like it's not going to be that bad to where it distracts the main point of the series. So anyways, first episode of Kakegurui, hopefully I'm saying that right, was a very enjoyable first episode. It honestly met my expectations. It definitely was something I've been looking forward to watching when I saw it on What I Will Watch for Summer of Anime 2017, and after seeing the first episode, I'm very impressed. I'm definitely gonna, continue watching it. Oh yes, I'm gonna continue watching it. I had fun with it, and like I said, if you're into those psychological series that has some fan service and have, like, I guess, gambling and all that, you're probably gonna like this series. So go give it a shot, see if you like it. Like I said, there's really no official source right now. There isn't, because Netflix picked it up, and if you want to wait, I guess you can wait until Netflix finally puts it up, but that's going to be like a whole 3 months. So if you want to wait 3 months or so or plus, then go for it. But I mean, if you want to watch it the weeks it comes out, you're going to have to go your own ways, because yeah, there's no official translation for right now for this series. But yeah, I'm definitely going to review episode 2. I had a lot of fun with it. I like the main female character. I like her personality and how she says gambling. Like, the essence of gambling is insanity. It's really nice stuff, and I like how the series made me think about stuff like that. It was really cool. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out. On another note, best girl of Summer of Anime 2017.